So it was like Tuesday morning, maybe 10 a.m. I'm standing at the register, and a group of people come in that are very clearly trying to steal. And you can tell which groups come in trying to steal because they always come in with hoodies on, hoods up. They look sketchy as all hell. And they come up to the register with the most expensive items they can bring to the register. So, like, they come up with about 10 electric fences and put all of them on the counter at the same time. And I'm like, okay. And how are you gonna pay for these 10 electric fences? And they give me the most counterfeit $100 bill you've ever seen in your life. Imagine, if you will, a dollar bill where all the green ink is like running and smudged and super bad.
Oh my God.
And so like
at-home printer.
looks like a fucking watercolor painting, right? But it doesn't show up as being counterfeit with the pen because they've used the technically correct paper. And so I, in my infinite wisdom, decide to hold it up to a light to see if I can see the little strip that would confirm that it was real, and it super wasn't. So, the way that Petco is set up, we have to call a manager if there is counterfeit money involved, because we have to assume that the person giving it to us does not know that it is counterfeit. We have to assume innocence until proven guilty, right? So,
oh God.
I just say to them, hey, you know, this is a really big transaction. I'm just going to call a manager really quick because I'm new. I was not new. I was playing the new card so that I could call a manager without, you know, alerting suspicion. And I was pressing that button like, fuck it. I was pressing that button so hard. And here's the other thing about the Petco that I worked at. The managers liked to, you know, not be in the store, and the intercom that announces that a manager is needed is only in the store. My managers liked to go outside and smoke literally 90% of their shifts because they would go out there together as a group and they would talk shit about everybody else and leave only one singular person in the store. So I was sitting there pressing the button over and over again, and the people at the register were getting more and more agitated. And when one of my managers finally showed up, you know, the guy that was standing like right in front of me, he was reaching behind himself. And the manager, you know, was walking up from behind him. So she saw what I did not see. And she was just like, oh, hey, you know what? You guys can go. So sorry about that. Gave him the counterfeit bill back, which we're not supposed to do because you're actually supposed to hold on to it to give it to the bank for them to get rid of it.
Yeah.
So she broke protocol, and I was super confused because I didn't think anything was wrong. And I was like, hey, what the fuck? We're not supposed to give it back to them. And she was just like, no, it's fine. No, just go do your job. It's fine. So I continued for that entire day without knowing anything. Flash forward to the next day, a different manager is present in the building, and she calls me into the office. And she sits me down, all serious like, and she says, Aria, I really need to ask, why didn't you call the police yesterday? And I said, Mary, what do you mean? Why would I call the police? They just had a counterfeit bill, and we're supposed to assume that they don't know that it's counterfeit. So I was just calling for help because they had all the electric fences, and, you know, like somebody was going to have to put those away. And Mary turns to me very, very serious, and she says, Aria, they had a gun. And then she proceeds to show me the security footage from the perspective of being behind the guy that was talking to me. And I watched the moment that he reached behind himself to grab a gun. So yeah, I almost got shot at 10 a.m. on a Tuesday in Petco.
Oh my God. That's fucking insane.
That's why I hate retail. Anyway.